Hey everybody, I'm just gonna show everybody my results of my first PSA submission. I've been on the fence for a while about sending cards off to get graded, especially with all the controversy that there's been, but I finally decided to do it. I had my first submission with PC Sports Cards out of New York. That was an 80 card bulk sub that I submitted early to mid-November, and it popped about a week and a half ago, and I just got the cards delivered today. Very easy process dealing with them from start to finish. Happy with the results. I had the 80 cards, 65 out of the 80 came back as PSA 10s. So I was really excited about that. A lot of the cards, about half the cards I submitted were actually Topps On Demand 3D cards that I had opened, and I really wasn't happy with the prices that they were going for on the secondary market. So I decided to send some off to get graded, and most of those did come back in gem, and those are pretty cool cards, and I'll show you guys those in a bit. And then a lot of the other cards were cards from Topps Chrome, Heritage High Number, Topps Update. That I felt they were decent cards, but they just weren't gaining a lot of interest. And again, I wasn't happy with the secondary market pricing on those cards. So we'll go ahead and get started here. I'll start off with the card that I'm really happiest with, and it's the uh, Vladimir Guerrero Jr. Topps Update US1 Gold Parallel number to 2019, and they came back as a Gem 10. Um, there was one that sold on eBay for I think 300 earlier in the week or late last week, and there's another one on auction that's about 260. But everybody's talking about the golds really being in how the interest has increased on the golds the last couple of years too. So I'm really pumped to get this card back. This was a card where I would have sold it had I been able to get about 110, 115 for, but all the offers were coming in at about $100. So then when I was doing the group sub, I'm like, okay, I'll go ahead and send it off. So I'm happy with the skin, and this is numbered 1203 out of 2019. So I'm not sure if I'm going to sell this one or if I'm going to keep it for a little bit, or I may list it with a higher um, buy it now price just to see how he does. Um, we have a PSA 10 2019 Topps Chrome Austin Riley rookie autograph. Um, so we'll go ahead and see how he does this year. So that was one where I think a lot of the offers I were only getting were probably in about the $30, $35 range on that card. We have a 2019 Topps Chrome Vlad refractor that came back as a 10. We have an Eloy Jimenez Prism refractor that came back as a 10. We got a Vlad Prism refractor that came back as a 9. And I have a tough time seeing exactly where the 9 came from, but with the Chrome cards, a lot of times, from what I understand, it could be just something on the surface. Still a nice card though. And we have a Juan Soto photo variation SP that came back as a 10. Pretty cool card. Okay, and then we have decided to send some of the base Chrome cards off. I think I had sold all my Eloys, so I just sent Guerrero and Alonso's, and we got 2 Alonso Chrome. I'm sorry, Vlad Chrome that came back as a 10. That came back as 10s. Those are just the base, and I think, though, if I remember correctly, those are short printed also. And then we got one that came back as a 9. Alonso. We have Pete Alonso, Topps Chrome, 3 of them that came back as, I think, all 10s. Got a 10 here, a 10 here, and another 10 here on the Alonsos. Those are cards that they were probably only going for between $5 and $7 per card raw, and I was trying to get at least 10 or $11 out of each card, and just wasn't happening. So I decided to send those off. Okay, on the Topps Heritage, we have a Keston Hiura Chrome number to 999, and that came back as a 10. You have a Nick Senzel Chrome, number to 999, that came back as a 10. A Michael Chavis Chrome Refractor to 569, I believe. Yeah, 569, that came back as a 10. And we had two Vlad action variations that came back as 10s. I had a Carter Kaboom Gold number to 5 that actually I sent it over to BGS for grading on that one. I sent 5 cards there, and then the 80 to this group sub, and that came as a 9.5, and I actually just sold that one, I think, for 625 or 630 about a week and a half ago. But we got two Heritage actions, and those I think I had sold one or two of those raw for about 70 or 75 bucks a piece. And you know, I wish I would have kept more Tatis, but his going prices for him were a little bit higher. But I think I had about 2 or 3 actions that I sold to him. I wish I would have sent those off to get graded. We have Chris Paddock Chrome Refractor to 569, and that came back as a 10. You have a Nick Senzel action variation that came back as a 10. And then we have a Nick Senzel Real One auto that came back as a 10. And then I think this is the last Heritage one I have. We have a Vlad Purple Chrome Refractor that came back as a 10. I still have a whole purple Chrome Refractor set up on eBay. This one I wasn't sure about when I sent it because of centering, because you can see left to right, but it must have met whatever the threshold was for being a 10. But I have a whole purple Chrome Refractor set listed on eBay, and I'm thinking about just breaking it up and sending off Vlad, Eloy, and Tatis to go ahead and get graded. And then get some Topps Chrome updates. We have a Mike Trout Extractor number to 150, I think it is, or 199. Yeah, 115 to 199. It came back as a 10. We have a Topps Update Austin Riley Auto that came back as a 9. And looking at it now, I think there's something right over here on that edge that may have caused that to bump down from a 10. We have a Update Keston Hira. This is just a regular SP photo variation that came back as a 10. I think I'm going to be opening up a lot of Series 1 this week, and I think the top tier rookies, I think a lot of their photo variations, and if I pull any color of them or any parallels, I'm going to be sending those off to get graded too. We have a Pete Alonso Stadium Club black foil. So not as rare. I think, can't remember, so long ago that I opened the Stadium Club. I can't remember if the red foil or the black foil is more rare, but I think that the black foil is. That came back as a 10. Some Ginner X, and I still have a ton of Ginner X I'm going to go through. We got an Alonso Mini that came back as a 10. Really like the look of the minis in the slabs. I don't know if it's just the frosty border that's around there or what, but it just makes them, I think, look really cool in there. We got a Vlad Ginter X Mini that came back as a 10. And then we got another Topps Chrome Updates Mike Trout Purple Refractor that came back as a 9. That's numbered to 175 on that one. I think the rest of the cards are actually going to be on-demand cards. So we'll go ahead and fly through these because I had multiple copies of some of these. These are really nice looking cards. I mean, reminds me of Sport Flicks from the 1980s and early 90s. So we got a Shohei Ohtani that came back as a 10. It's pretty cool. You can still see it doesn't lose much. I was worried about it possibly losing much being in the holder as far as the 3D action goes, but it still looks really cool. And I had 3 of him that came back, and they all came back 10s. I do international. Use the global shipping program to do international shipping, and I have a lot of good luck selling Ohtani products overseas. I sent off 3 Aaron Judge cards, and those all came back as 10s. Here you can see the Aaron Judge card. Cool thing about these, the print run, I think the estimated print run on the base cards is 540. So there's not a whole lot of them out there. But we had 3 of them come back as tons. We have Juan Soto. I had 3 Sotos, and these all came back as tons also. Again, this is my first time really dealing with slabbed cards, and you know, they're pretty cool. You know, it's nice seeing them in the holders and everything, and something I think I probably will start doing more of. Okay, so we have Nick Senzel. I had 4 of his base. 1 came back as a 9, and then we had 3 come back that jumped out at tons. Austin Riley, we had 2 that were sold. I had 2 that were subbed. 1 came back as a 9. The other one came back as a 10. One thing about these, the surfaces are really sensitive and scratch easily on these cards. Got 2 Michael Chavis that I submitted, and those couple came back 9s. One thing is I'll probably list the 10s just as, you know, buy it now, best offer in my stores, and the 9s I may end up putting up just on auction. Okay. Yeah, Gleyber Torres. We had 2 that I had subbed on the base, and they both came back as 10s. Fernando Tatis, we had 2 that I had signed. We had pulled 2, I think, in it, and they both came back 10s, so I'm pretty happy about that. That they both came back 10s. I think it's really cool if you look on the right side of the card how his glove is just, you can just see it hanging off that, you know, that edge, that cool 3D effect. I did send some rookie motions that we'll get to in a little bit too, and those are pretty nice. Okay, we got Alonzo's. I subbed 3 Alonzo's, and they all came back 9s. So makes me wonder. You know, I haven't looked on eBay yet to see if there's any PSA 10s that are listed, or even looked at the population report on this. But it makes me wonder if there's something in the packaging or manufacturing with this card that's causing it, or I just had a grader who doesn't like the Mets, or just saw something on all 3 of those cards. Next we have Vlad, and I think I sent 4 or 5 Vlads. 4 Vlads, and then we got 1 9 and 3 10s. So that's the US one. That's the US one on the Vlads. Again, 3 10s and a 9 on those. Remember, I think one of the first packs I opened of this actually had the Vlad and had a Tatis in it. Then we got Mike Trout. I sent 2. This is a cool card. And they both came back at 10s. We had 1 Eloy I sent off, and that came back as a 10. Now, when I was looking at these cards, I really looked at the cards to see if, you know, if I noticed any imperfections, even with the naked eye. If I notice it with the naked eye, I know that the grader's gonna notice that. And then I did wipe them down with a just with the microfiber cloth. I had 3 Hiras that I submitted bases, and those all came back as tons. That's a cool card. How you see his elbow, the protection on the elbow just elevated off. And again, this is something where if you see these in person, you really have an appreciation for these more. And we have Acuna now. I had 3 Acunas, and I had 2 come back at 10 and 1 come back at a 9. So again, with a lot of the on-demand cards, these 3D cards, I wasn't happy with the prices I was getting on that just were out there on the secondary market on it. So that's why I sent these off to get graded. I'm going to be in the same boat right now with the on-demand mini that came out in early to mid-December. I'm sitting on a lot of inventory of that, so I'm going to go through those probably in the next week or so. And when I my next sub I send, I'm going to send some of those in too, especially the rookies. Okay, we have rookie motion. I have 4 Tatis, and these came back as 10s. I think they're all 10s. We'll see. Let's pull if you can see a little bit of the motion. Yeah, so another 10 on the Tatis. I didn't send off all the ones I had. I've been selling some raw ones on auctions over the last few weeks just to move some inventory. They've been going for about $20 to $25 just for raw in the auctions. So next we have Vlad. When we get to the end of this, I'm going to show you some. I had 4 cards that were actually mislabeled and mistakes, and they're pretty funny to look at. So I already contacted the guy that I had subbed with on it, and he got back to me right away. And the next sub I send, I'm just going to send them back, and they're going to send them in to get fixed. So we have Vlad, we have his rookie motion. We got a ton of, I think I have 5 of these I subbed. Slimmed down a lot. I saw something on Twitter or Facebook of him the other day, and he had slimmed down a lot. Hopefully that translate into a better sophomore season for him. Yep. So we had 5 of the Vlads, and they all came back as tons. So then we have Keston and rookie motion, and those both I had 2, and they both came back out as tons. Now we have here. Okay, so this is. I was looking at this when I got the email with the sub. I was like, I'm like, wait, I didn't send any Alonso rookie motions in, but sure enough, these. You look at them; they both say 2019 Topps on Demand 3D Fernando Tatis Jr. Gem mint 10. So they both gemmed, but the problem is they're not of Fernando Tatis Jr. They're of Pete Alonso. So I'm gonna have to send these guys back to get them reslabbed. Then I had a Trout Ginter X Mini that came back and came back as a 9, and I was looking at it, wait a second, it's 2017, so it was year was mislabeled, so I'll send that one back. And then we have a, you guys can tell me what's wrong with this one, a 2019 Topps Chrome Gleyber Torres refractor. And it's Pete Alonso, so it's not Gleyber Torres. So but that gemmed as a 10, and that's numbered to 250. And it's my understanding that when they make a mistake like that, the grade carries over. They'll just get the right label on that for that. So that was my sub in a nutshell, and I'm going to show you some other cards that I had gotten back from BGS that I have left. I had a Eloy Jimenez chrome gold auto to 50 and a purple auto to 150 that I already had sold. The gold came back at 9.5. The purple was a 9, and then I had the Kaboom that was a 9.5 on the gold Heritage High number that sold. I still have this card, which is Nick Senzel throwback that gemmed at a 9.5 with BGS, and I like the both. I don't think I have a preference. I do like that Beckett that you can get the subgrades, so you can see each individual area to see where it's at. Based on the value and everything, this cost me about $50 when you factor in grading costs, shipping, and everything to go ahead and get it graded for the Senzel. Whereas on the PSAs, since I'm doing the bulk sub, they're $12. I got the BGS. I did I think that was a 20, maybe a 10-day or 20-day, and I had them back within 30 days start to finish from when I sent them. So that was nice to get that back. But this is a cool card, and if he takes off, it's it's a throwback. So I think they estimated it about 25 copies. And then this is the only other card I have left that I sent to BGS, and that came back as a 9.5 with a 9 auto. Eloy Jimenez. It's a Stadium Club Chrome number to 10, and this one is 6 of 10. So it's a Chrome foil board, 9.5. So Anyway, hey, thanks for watching. Each time, like I said, about another 40 to 50 cards ready to go that I'm going to send out to get subbed, um, to get graded, and then I'm going to see what I get from Series 1 when I open it. I'm going to be opening a total of 20 cases of Series 1. I have 11 jumbo and 9 hobby. Um, and I'm kind of liking the look of the turkey red, so I'm trying to work out a deal with somebody to get some hanger pack cases for just to have some of those reds too. So, but hey, thanks for watching. Have a good night.